Welcome to this week's golf tips. I'm going to do a little talking about playing in wet conditions, how to hit out of the rough, and execute some shots on or show you how to fade, draw, hit the ball high, hit it low. Wet conditions, the ball will tend to be a flyer. So a lot of the times you will have to use one less club. If you're in a situation where you feel you should use a 6-iron, then switch to a 7-iron. Because of the ball being covered with water, either rainwater or dew, the ball is going to fly a little bit further and not have this spin on it that it normally does. Keep equipment dry. Carry an extra towel in the bag. Have an extra golf glove in the bag. Carry it in a plastic bag. One thing that I do when I happen to play in wet weather is my umbrella. I have a towel underneath the umbrella so that I can wipe my hands off or wipe the grip off before I take a swing. Now, the air will be heavy too, so consequently you may have to use one more club too. So really think about what you're doing when you're playing in wet weather. Now the wind, when you're playing and it's windy, use the wind to your advantage. Swing nice and smooth. If the wind's blowing from right to left, aim to the right a little bit. Determine the speed of the wind and maybe aim 5 yards to the right of your target or 10 yards. Vice versa, if the wind's going from left to right, make a judgment whether you should aim 5 yards to the left of your flag or 10 yards. Hitting into the wind, swing nice and smooth. Problem with a lot of golfers is that they force the swing. They swing a little harder. Now, if it's a second or third shot, consider the fact too that you may have to use one more club because the wind will catch the ball and it'll shoot it up a little higher than what you're expecting. When the wind is with you, then, as I said, swing nice and smooth, get the ball up into the air, and let the wind carry it even further. Now, when you're in the rough can be a very interesting shot. First of all, I hope you never get into the rough. Address the ball at its level. Now, really take a look at the ball, see how it's situated in the long grass. It may be sitting on top of the grass, so when you take your setup, instead of grounding the club or getting down in the grass, set up to that level. If it happens to be 3 inches up in the air, set up to that level and swing through the ball. Don't move down to get at the ball in that case, because you'll only get under the ball and it'll pop in the air and still be in the rough. The ball will fly further too. It's much the same as the ball being wet in wet weather. So you may have to use one less club. A good club that a lot of golfers have is a number 7 wood. Now, just because you're in the rough doesn't mean you have to use an 8, a 9, or a wedge to get it back in play. To analyze the situation, you may be able to use your 5 wood or 4 wood or 3-iron to achieve your distance. But a lot of golfers are now using 7 woods and number 8 woods and number 9 woods because they can get at the ball with lots of loft. They can get the ball up in the air and still achieve the distance that they need. When you swing through the ball, swing through like you're swinging through a sand shot. Don't stop the club in the grass. Get it through. Work it through as much as you can. Now, another thing too is that if the grass is long, you may have to cock your wrists early. Instead of getting on your normal swing, getting a sweeping motion back with the club, you may have to cock the wrists early and get up so that now you're shortening the swing and you can get down at the ball and get the club through the ball. Now, what I'm going to do now is hit some shots that, if you want to practice it, fine, but make sure you develop the swing before you try it on the golf course. A fade, a draw, how to hit the ball high, how to hit it low. Okay, now, I'm sure you've asked a friend, how do I hook the ball or how do I draw the ball? And there's a number of different, mainly 3 different ways. But the simplest way, if you have a tree between you and your target, you've got to knock it out to the right of the tree and draw it into your target. The simplest way of doing it is take the face of the club, point it directly at your flag, at your target. Take your stance and have your stance parallel to a line going out to the right of the tree and swing normally. The face is pointing towards your target. Swing along the line of your feet, and it's the same swing, but the face is closed. And swing through. couple other ways. One is close your stance. Another one is work your hands quickly, but that doesn't always work. As I said, the simplest way that I find to draw the ball around a tree or to get a little more action on the ball. So when you draw or hook the ball is going to roll a little bit more too, and you may have to use one less club. Is have the face of the club pointing at your target. Set your feet so that your feet are in line to a target line to the right of the tree, and go ahead and swing. The ball will go out and then turn to the left. Now, consequently, you're in the same position, but your target is to the right. So now you're going to have to hit the ball to the left and let it go left to right. Do the same thing. Put the face at your target where you want the ball to finish. Change your stance so now you're aiming left of the tree. Keep the wrists very still. Don't let the hands rotate coming through, but block the shot, like so. So the left hand is leading. And the ball will work from left to right. Keep your head still and swing through and make solid contact. Block those hands. The ball will work from left to right. Now, in that type of flight pattern, the ball doesn't travel as far, so you may have to use one more club. If your distance is a 6-iron to your target normally without a tree or obstacle in your way, then you may have to use a 5-iron. Have the face of the club pointing at your target. Your line along your toes to the left of that tree you're trying to get around. Keep the hands still so the left hand is leading. And swing, and the ball will go left to right. Now you're in a situation, let's say you're hitting into the wind, and you want to keep the ball down. What you do, instead of using your body for weight transfer, keep your weight a little bit more on the left foot, swing the club back, and punch through the ball. Do a little better than that one. Weight on the left side, stay over here, swing back, and then move through, but punch through the ball. The flight pattern will be lower. Let's try that again now. Weight on the left side, and then move your weight through. And punch through the ball. Now, you're in a situation that you need to get the ball up quickly over a tree, or the wind is with you. What you do in this shot now is you take your swing, you let the hips turn, let the left knee turn in. When you swing through, you leave your weight a little bit back on the right side. That will get the ball up very quickly. Keep that head still. Leave your weight on the right side, just very little. And the ball will get up very quickly. Head still, shift your weight, but just stay back on that right side a little bit longer. The ball will get up very quickly. Now, when I practice, I know I've had golfers say, oh, you're having trouble with your swing. Well, once I'm loosened up, I go through a routine. I like to work the ball. Not everyone can, but it's good if you can, because you may get in a situation where you want to draw, fade the ball into your target. And I go through a routine where I draw the ball, I fade it, and then I hit it straight. Okay, here's a draw. Here's a fade. Hands are very passive in that swing, and then I hit the ball straight. Now remember, when you practice, get extension. Work the club head through, let the hips and legs lead the club, and swing through. No matter what shot you are executing, use the body, keep the head still, and make solid contact. Our next segment, I'm going to play Nelson Golf and Country Club and give you some tips on how you should play it. Wasn't bad.